What's up, guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Zachary Reality, and I am so excited to be joining you guys today live on a Sunday to chat about the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3. I watched the first 3 episodes over the weekend on Peacock because they're streaming, and I had to get my thoughts out and come on live and see if anybody else was watching it or talking about it because I really liked it. Immediately, I felt like it was just like a comfort show. I love watching Housewives, but when you bring a bunch of housewives together from different cities, it's just fun to watch, especially when they're on like a vacation. So you can kind of use that like scapegoat, like live through them because Thailand is such a beautiful place. So I'm going to give some of my thoughts on the women on the show, and hopefully you guys let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. So make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you are new to my channel and if you are new here. So let's get into it. So this is the third edition of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. The first one was like the OGs with like Teresa and Kyle in the Bahamas. The second one was Vicky, Dorinda at the Berkshires. That one was really messy. It was the Ex-Wives Club. This one doesn't necessarily have a theme. I think originally they wanted to do like a BFFs version with like Marisol and Alexia, Heather and Whitney, but then you would have probably expected to see Giselle and Robin, but we don't need Robin on another housewife show, right? I'm glad that Candace is there because I live for Candace. I love Candace. And then I think what happened was last minute someone pulled out, and that's why they brought in Portia, who is amazing. I love Portia so much. So the full cast is Alexia and Marisol from Miami, Candace and Giselle from Potomac, and they literally like do not like each other. It's mostly Candace who doesn't like Giselle, and then Portia from Atlanta and Leah from New York. So let's talk about all the women and talk about a little bit of the drama. So let's start with Queen Portia, who is so good on TV. She's such a natural. I missed her on Atlanta last season. I feel like she's going to come back to Atlanta. I guess not this next season because I know they already filmed that, but hopefully the year after we'll see her again. But she's probably like the biggest name on the show. As Heather pointed out, she has like 7 million Instagram followers. I love Portia. I think she's hilarious. I think she's real. Candace was the one who not questioned Portia, but asked the questions that we were all wondering. I know Portia did have that spin-off show. I think it was like, I don't even know what it was about. I guess just Portia Family Matters. I watched a couple episodes of that, but I was really interested to hear about the backstory of how Portia and Simon got together because I remember at the time thinking like, this is weird. Like I know her and Fallon weren't that close of friends, and now we have a little bit more backstory of that, but we didn't know that at the time because during Atlanta Housewives, it seems like Fallon was like Portia's way in. Portia like brought Fallon into the show. At least that's what it looked like. But when Portia explained it to Candace and the other girls in Thailand, she said that Fallon, like they met on camera and that I guess Fallon allegedly cheated on Simon. So their relationship was over before Portia and Simon linked, but they got engaged within a month. And the tea was that Simon, Portia checked in on Simon because she's known of him or known him for years, like kind of loosely, and was just like, hey, hope all is well, with the divorce. And then Simon was like, I want to see you. I want to see you. So I guess it gives greater context, but I did like what Portia said when she's like, her fan base kind of was a little upset with her for that relationship because it seems just so sticky. There is that age gap. Who gets engaged within a month? Like, that's kind of crazy. Obviously, Simon and Portia are still together like a year later, maybe 2 years later. So they stand at the test of time. Who are we to judge? But I was a big Portia fan, and seeing that relationship just confused me in so many ways and made me uncomfortable. So I like that Portia acknowledged that. I still think it's weird. But then again, like they're still together. So, hey, whatever makes people happy. But I'm living for Portia. Let's talk about Candace and Giselle. Now, Giselle is so messy and she's so annoying because she's so messy. Like, I know it's their jobs when you're on a reality show to like be the person to like bring up conversation and ask people questions. That's why we watch TV, like to hear people open up and talk about things that they're uncomfortable talking about it and to get the tea. This is Ultimate Girls Trip. Like, we want the tea of everything that they can't talk about on their regular shows because Ultimate Girls Trip really breaks the fourth wall. So I like that Giselle is there. I think she's necessary for the show. But as far as, like, watching her and, like, if I was any of the other women, like, Giselle's so annoying. Like, everything she does, everything she says, every move she makes, she just comes off so inauthentic, doesn't wanna talk about herself. Not inauthentic, but, like, she's just so messy. She's just so messy and so annoying. It's, like, infuriating watching Giselle. I do think Candace goes really hard at Giselle. Her reads are just so tough, but, like, Giselle kinda deserves it too because she just constantly stirs the pot and never talks about herself ever. So I hope that throughout the rest of the episodes, I don't know how many there will be. I'm assuming 10, so it'll probably play out in like 3 weeks. I mean, 8 episodes, I would assume. So probably 3 more this week and then 2 the next week, I guess. I don't know. But I hope that they break Giselle down and like get her to open up more and see a different side of her if that's possible. But Candace, I'm living for. I really love Candace on Potomac. I love how she is just like trying to have Leah's back, who's being so negative. We'll get to her next. But I don't know. Everything about Candace is just so entertaining. She's so authentic. She's so real. Just her confessionals. She's so well spoken. She's so articulate. I love that she came in with that show and like that dress and like, put on that night for everybody. Interested to see what will happen with her and Portia because I think that they're going to have some drama to hash out. And then obviously her and Giselle will, have more drama, but they filmed that before the Potomac reunion and before the Salt Lake City reunion. So I'm glad that they made that clear in the episodes. Just living for Candace on all levels. Leah, I've always liked Leah. I know a lot of people didn't like her last season of New York, and I kind of agree. Like, but whatever. Like this season of Thailand, I really liked her. I think she's fun and easygoing, but she's so negative, and I don't know what switched on like day 2 or whenever it was that Leah just switched up on everybody. But she is just so negative, and like she's bringing the morale down of the trip, and I don't know like what is up with that. I know that she's not drinking, and it's probably frustrating that people are like, "Why aren't you drinking?" Like, if she's sober, like, leave her alone. Like, being sober is so hard, especially if you have a drinking problem. So I do think the girls, especially Marisol, who's like, I think she's funny, but like, she's always like, "Hmm," you know? Marisol, ugh, we'll get to her next. I do love Marisol though, but Leah needs to kind of get it together. She needs to start smiling again. I remember when they were filming, there was a lot of reports that Leah got kicked off the trip or maybe she left early. So I'm sure we'll see that soon. I'm definitely interested to see what the full story is and how that happens. But doesn't seem like she has many friends on the trip because she's just being negative. And you're in Thailand. Like, get it together. Have fun. Oh, we have a live viewer. Go to sleep says, I always get confused with Whitney and Alexia. Well, do you watch Miami and Salt Lake City? Because they don't really look alike. They're also so different. So get it together, Leah. But let's talk about, should we go to Whitney and Heather first and then Alexia and Marisol? Let's go to Alexia and Marisol first. So love them. Love the dynamic of the friendship. I love when they speak Spanish. I think they're so fun. Alexia definitely has an ego, which I don't think she needs to have because we all know she's a queen. We all know she's like the GOAT. Like we all know she like slays in Miami. Like she doesn't need to have this like ego, but she does. I don't know who's gonna tell her to tone it down because like whenever the other girls on Miami do, like they're annoying when they do in like the way they do it. But somebody needs to put Alexia in her place because her ego is a little big sometimes. But I really love watching her. I thought it was interesting when Leah called her out for like repeating stories because we all do that. Like even when I listen to different people on podcasts, there's always like those same questions, like how'd you get into this? What are your thoughts on this? Like we all repeat stories constantly in our lives, even if you're not on TV. Like we're always reintroducing ourselves and saying what our jobs are and what our family backgrounds are. So I get that Alexia is doing that, but I thought it was funny when Leah pointed that out, or maybe it was just like the way the edit was. But I definitely thought it was funny. I don't really think her and Marisol are like gonna be like the center of things. They're kind of like the funny, especially Marisol. She's so funny, like the dynamic duo, just kind of like more coasting. Not every housewife or character on a show needs to be like the center of attention. Like sometimes you do need a couple people that are more coasty. So I kind of feel like that's where Alexia is, and then Marisol is going to be the comedic relief of the show because she is always making us laugh. I hope she figures out what is wrong with her tummy because I'm tired of hearing, I hope she feels better, but I'm also tired of hearing her complain about it. Like, what's going on? Like, why are you sick? And why does she drink so much? I mean, if you're in Thailand, you might as well. Go to Sleep says, Giselle telling them to stop talking Spanish around them is mean. They should be proud of their culture. Yeah, it was a little rude. I mean, Giselle did explain that her daughter speaks Spanish around her and she gets insecure that they're talking about her in Spanish. So I get that that's where she was coming from. And I mean, I think they are proud of their culture. And I love the Spanish culture as well. But it could be annoying if you're around someone and they're speaking a different language and you're like, what are they saying? But I don't think that they can help it considering they speak two languages, and it's probably just their thing. I like learning new Spanish, honestly. When I watch Miami, when I watch Thailand, like I like hearing them speak Spanish and learn new words. I took Spanish in middle school and high school, I think for like 5 years. I also worked in restaurants in college where there was a lot of people who spoke Spanish in the kitchen. So I know a little bit of Spanish. So I like kind of hearing it and seeing it. And let's talk about Heather and Whitney. Well, we have a commenter, Whitney. She says, "You speak so clearly. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that." Okay, amazing. I've been trying to figure out my mic situation. I put like the headphones here because I'm not sure which microphone is plugged in, but I really want to I'm just trying to keep on testing out my live streams and eventually get like make sure I have a good headset so that I could just come on here all the time and rant. Um, Whitney and Heather, bad weather. So they clearly are not getting along. Their problems are so frustrating. I actually like Heather's confessional look, the pink thing that a lot of people are, giving her crap for on Twitter already. But Heather and Whitney just like, I don't know what their issue is. I think that they're both just like really excited to be housewives. And I actually do think the show is what ruined their friendship or their cousinship. I really do think that if there was no show, that they would be getting along. I really think it's the show. Genuinely, that is my opinion. I think that Heather is like coming off as such a fan, which is like obviously like we all love Housewives, but like she's on the show. Like you're not supposed to be like a fan when you're like on the show. So I feel like she needs to like channel that back. But I also think it's like the editing. It's kind of relatable since we all love Housewives and we watch it and we're all fans of it. But it's weird to see like Heather being so fangirly and like I don't know, she's kind of coming across thirsty, but like in an endearing way because she's also comes across likable. But it's like this is the all-star trip. Like this is game time. And it also doesn't have to be like that much pressure because this is the third season of All Stars. Like it's just a fun show. It's just a comfort show. It doesn't need to be like these high stakes. Like it's just fun to see Housewives on a vacation. It doesn't have to be like this hardcore like all-star thing. I think Ex-Wives Club season 2 was the messy one and then season 1 was like the all-star. This is more like casual and I'm sure season 4 we've heard about a little bit about that online too. That's going to get crazy. But Heather and Whitney need to work through their issues because this is just ridiculous and petty. And Whitney is kind of like falling into the background. It's kind of giving like Taylor Armstrong season 2 of Ultimate Girls Trip, how she was just kind of there. But Whitney's beautiful. I met her at BravoCon and I loved her. And I'm really enjoying Ultimate Girls Trip. I can't wait to see what happens with the whole Leah thing. I love seeing Portia and Candace. Those are probably my 2 favorites on the show. And Giselle is driving me crazy, but that's the point of a reality show. We love to love, we love to hate when we're watching. So those were kind of just my quick thoughts. Needed to get those out there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you watching Ultimate Girls Trip? What were your thoughts on all of the Housewives? And do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are new here and if you haven't already. I have not started Love is Blind yet season 4, but I'm definitely planning on watching that this week. And then tomorrow is the Bachelor finale. So I will have lots more shows to recap and talk about on my channel. So make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified whenever I post an interview or go live. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.